again.
Hey, get Jeremiah 50 and 14 real quick. Jeremiah 50 and 14. Yeah, 50 and 14 real quick.
It's Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 14. Put yourselves in array against Babylon.
Babylon, that's America. Just to put it plain. Babylon is from the Hebrew word babal, which means confusion.
Yep, this is the land of confusion.
Confusion, chaos. Everything is out of order. That's why here in America, you can't even tell a woman and a man.
Correct.
People getting transgender operations where you don't even know who's a tranny or not.
Correct. People
You know
giving
what I'm
their
saying?
kids.
There's men that look more womanly than a woman these days, man. Confusion.
And women
women
more
thinking,
manly.
women are more manly these days, and men are more feminine. You know, a bunch of freaks, lesbians, homosexual, you name it, man. Everything is upside down here in this society. And they're trying to push it on all these other countries, and that's why some of them are rising up in that conflict with the United States, you know? This is Babylon, man.
Put yourselves in array against Babylon.
Let me say this, because it is talking about Babylon because that's what they knew at the time to describe this place. Then they thought, a lot of them thought they were talking about ancient Babylon, not realizing the scripture was going to stand the test of time and also be talking about another place of confusion. Go ahead.
Put yourselves in array against Babylon round about. All ye that bend the bow, shoot at her, spare no arrows.
When Jeremiah had that written down or prophesied that, there wasn't no arrows that can bend the bow around like that, around Babylon like that. Now there was countries that could shoot their armies, you know, whatever the timetable had, weapons they had, but they're talking about arrows, talking about the same missiles in this place. Because there's no new thing in the earth. So what happened then is going to happen now, but on this level of Earth scale.
Well, let's just put it plain.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff in prophecy was written in code,
Right.
so that certain men could be able to interpret it.
Right.
Not everybody can interpret it, you know, through the Spirit. The Spirit, it's the Spirit of the Lord that gets on men to be able to break down and understand what the Scriptures are saying.
Right.
Not everybody can do that. So back then, Jeremiah, this was the Lord basically giving him the revealing the vision. Hey, this is what is going to happen. All these nations that you're going to be ruling in the last days, they're going to bend the bow, which really symbolizes the nuclear silo, and they're going to shoot them, and they're going to be aimed right at America.
Right.
You know, back then he described it according to the times that they understood. They only understood. They didn't understand what a nuclear missile was.
The language that they had.
Right.
Exactly.
And that's why when he read that second Edges, it said, you got the other description of the missile?
Isaiah 54.
No. Basically, he said, where's the one where they described the missile? Where I think it was Edges describing the missile.
He said, come
He said there's a fire in the head or something,
Yeah.
in the tail.
And they do bite.
Fire.
No. That's a Revelation.
Revelation. Ninth chapter?
Yeah.
Come. You go with what y'all got. Whoever do.
I'll finish it.
So basically, he was describing like a dragon, but like a serpent. But he was talking about the missile. I forgot exactly how it goes, but I'm gonna try to get it. Go whatever it is.
Jeremiah.
Yeah.
For she hath sinned against the Lord. Shout against her round about. She hath given her hand, her foundations are fallen, her walls are thrown down, for it is the vengeance of the Lord. Take vengeance upon her, as she has done, do unto her.
You're talking about the 17th verse, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
I gotta start at 16.
Yeah. Revelation, yep, exactly. Revelation chapter 9, verse 16. And the number of the army of the horsemen were 200,000, and I heard the number of them. There's a whole lot of missiles from all the other countries destroying this place. It says, and thus I saw the horses in the vision, because they only understood power by horses, and them moving at that type of speed with horses that can move that fast.
Just like today, horsepower.
Yeah, horsepower, right. It says, and them that sat on them, having breastplates of fire and of jacinth, that's talking about the warheads. That's describing the warheads, right? And then that sat upon them.
What you're seeing right now is demons.
Yep.
Demons is on it. Unclean spirits is on it. I gotta be on that.
Anyway,
Jump.
I'm gonna keep reading. Leave that to the Lord, man. It's just,
He's being controlled right now.
yeah. And then
Spiritual things happen when men of the Lord, when the word is being projected out here. Spiritual things happen around
All the time.
all the time.
I'm going to start at the top of 17 again. It says, and thus I saw the horses in the vision, and them that sat on them, having breastplates of fire, and of jacinth and brimstone, and the heads of the horses were as the heads of lions.
That's the warheads.
Yep.
That's the warheads that come out of the body.
The most dangerous part on a lion is the mouth. The most dangerous part on a missile is the head.
The warheads.
The front of it.
And that's what they worried about Kim Jong-un now, because he took a picture next to them warheads.
Yep.
They know it's real now. They know they got the
And
capability.
inside those warheads could be multiple bombs in them.
Yep. Depending on the type
And
of
everyone who is built, every country that has built a missile has that missile aimed at the United States.
Right.
Every country.
Yep. It says,
That's why they built it.
out of their mouth issue fire and smoke and brimstone as destruction.
Smoke, fire, and brimstone.
Yep. By these three was the third part of men killed, by the fire and by the smoke and by the brimstone which issue out of their mouths, which is in that warhead. Because the missile itself, you can drop the missile itself. Most of the time, the whole missile don't make it. That's just the fuel to push it
to
where
propel
it's
it.
at, to propel it
Just
out.
push it out.
But the warhead is what actually does the destruction. By the time, it may be as long as this city block, I'm just saying, let's say as long as it's
long as a bus.
Eiffel Tower. It's as tall as Eiffel Tower right here, right? But by the time we get there, it's just a tip. And that's where the warhead's sitting at. That was just to propel it to this side of the earth. But the warhead that's going to do all the damage is going to only be as big as one of these small buildings or something smaller.
Big as a
that's gonna
Volkswagen.
blow it. Say that again?
Big as a Volkswagen.
Yeah, Volkswagen. But it's going to bring major destruction.
Power
missile
that's in
might
that
be-
is
The missile might be the size of a bus or bigger,
Yep.
but the warhead is the size of a Volkswagen.
The Mini Cooper or
Yeah,
something.
Mini Cooper.
Who has
I got it something. It's 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 10. But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in which the heavens shall pass away with great noise.
Yep.
The elements shall melt with fervent heat.
That's what's going to do that. The ICBM missiles.
That's the only thing that can melt.
The elements.
The elements.
Everything we see down here is made up of the periodic table of elements, right? It's going to melt all of that.
People too.
Yep, everything.
The earth also and the works that are therein shall be burned up.
Yep. That's what's going to do that.
All
That's
this,
why it's going to be a
Concrete,
desolate wilderness.
all
All this
concrete.
After the
concrete,
missiles.
these buildings, these freeways,
Yep.
the highways, everything.
The people, for
And
sure.
definitely the people that's not saved by the Lord when He comes back,
Yep.
they're gonna burn up. That's when you read about the lake of fire. That's America being destroyed by those missiles.
And when the missiles come, that's when you're going to see brothers get beamed up in the chariots.
Yep.
So it's like missile could be coming right when I was about to hit. That's when we're going to go up. Lord willing, we those men.
It's going to be right on time.
Yeah, kind. That's when we got to. That's why brothers in this
have
truth got to keep your faith to the very end.
And
seen that
if you're of
movie?
the elect, if you're one of the men that's appointed to be saved, you're gonna have the
yeah.
have the luxury of witnessing the sight of watching America and even other parts of the world. You're gonna be seeing the missiles going all over the earth. There's gonna be certain parts of the earth that's not gonna get
I don't
touched,
want about the Zod.
but it's gonna be other parts that's gonna be getting hit.
So we
But
gonna be
America,
like,
it's gonna
everybody
be
like, damn, America getting tipped
America's
off.
gonna
What's
get it the
going on
worst. It's gonna be like it's raining nuclear warheads on America. You're gonna be seeing all type of mushroom clouds, the big burst clouds when a nuclear missile detonate. But we got water over here. No, we got
We
water.
got ice in them.
here? We got some.
We got living water.
That's cool. Appreciate it, though.
We cool.
good.
See, that's what we was talking about. That might be for what? That's for his.
Yeah.
Don't take it.
Yeah.
You got some
probably
shit
want a
in there.
brownie point from somebody. He didn't want to really. And we can't trust it because we know
can't
at
trust
the end of the
that.
day, it could be something bad. Or it could have been something from the Heavenly Father. But
We got water.
we got water. You just haven't asked for what we already got. Good those good, bro. Even home.
This is Isaiah 54 and 16.
Yep.
Behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire.
Now you think that's something good if you're an American citizen, thinking it's going to defend America, all this and that, not realizing that technology is going to come back to bite America in the butt. You know, it's to its own destruction. It was more so to threaten the rest of the world, to take power and to destroy the rest of our. Give us your uranium, give us your opium, give us your oil, whatever else, or we're going to drop these on you. Go ahead, bro.
There's a reason why they keep trying to suppress those North Koreans from creating more and more nuclear missiles. Because North Korea, they are a small country, but they still have that nuclear capability that America has. So they're willing to fight toe-to-toe with the U.S. even though they're a real small country. That's why he has that, Kim Jong-un got that pride that he got. I'll shoot a missile in California tomorrow. He ain't gonna do it, the Lord got everything in check. But you know, he's able to flex his power because that's part of the prophecy where it says, let the weak now say that I'm strong. Because these weaker nations, the Lord is actually allowing them to develop that power to be able to fight against Babylon. You know?
Plus they starved.
That's why they keep trying to halt that nuclear deal with Iran. Because once Iran get it, they could destroy Israel. You know? They can destroy Israel. They can destroy their empires on that side of the world. But Russia is the one that's supplying them with it. So Russia is the bear that the dragon got to fight with. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be this whole battle, this whole World War III. Russia is going to be the prime culprit for these nations gathering together and fighting against America. You know? Was that it? Go ahead.
Behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, and that bringeth forth an instrument for his work.
Yep.
And I have created the waster to destroy.
The waster to destroy, man. All right? So he put the spirit on these Edomites to create. The first bomb they created was what? The hydrogen bomb? The hydrogen bomb? The atom bomb?
The atom bomb.
The atom bomb.
The atom bomb, then it was the hydrogen bomb.
Then it was the hydrogen bomb.
Yep.
All right, and then they used that bomb on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, the Japanese, you know, and the world fell in fear because of that.
Little boy, fat man, and little boy.
And that's what it was. The Cold War was about who could first get that technology from the Germans. The Germans created it, but Russia and America was racing to see who can get it and develop it. Well, they both got it and developed it. That's why it was at a standstill.
That's the Cold War.
Yeah, because
it was one of the Oppenheimers that had it created.
Yep.
And Robert Oppenheimer.
Yep.
He was a German
inventor or scientist.
A German scientist, but he was a straight up devil, man. He was part of the Illuminati. One of those banking families, man.
And after he created that bomb for the United States, they turned against him.
Yep.
Yeah, more? Yeah, I want you to read 17 also, so keep reading. Because this part is also important that you hear this part. Because a lot of people will hear all the destruction and hear all the messages, and it'll be like, you know, what can I do? Well, this is gonna tell you.
This is Isaiah 54 and 17. No weapon that is formed against thee shall prosper.
I know y'all all heard that in church, but that's not talking about, you know, just a church level. This is talking about a deeper level. Meaning the elect is gonna get saved out of this. Go ahead, bro.
And every tongue that shall rise against thee in judgment, thou shalt condemn.
Yep.
This is the heritage.
That's what we're doing now. We're condemning those that rises up against the Lord in judgment, saying that, y'all some demons, y'all ain't teaching the truth. This is the real Jesus Christ and whatever else. Y'all false prophets. Whatever they negative they can say about this, they said about us, they said it about the Lord. Because we're speaking straight from the Spirit of the Lord, which is out the Bible. And the proper interpretation that the Bible should have. That's why this will make way more sense than any other time anybody read this book to you.
The Bible describes, you know, feet made of brass, eyes made of fire.
Oh, the Lord. Sorry.
Yeah, the Lord,
Yeah.
I guess that's the image, right?
Right. That's not, we're not saying that's what it looks like. We're just saying that's the depiction that the Bible gives, which is contradictory to the worldly accepted image of the Lord. So
Which
we're
ain't
showing
biblical.
you the truth that the Bible describes versus the lie that's been put on you and that you believe without no proof. He can look.
That was just white supremacy.
Right.
That's all that was, man. They
I
deceived the
kinda
world into thinking that the white man is God. He's the anointed savior. He wants to be every prominent figure in history.
Yeah, we have to put the extras on.
Yeah, we put the extras on it, you know.
Well, you
To let you know we're against it. To let you know that that ain't the
But
truth.
that's an actual man. A lot of people didn't know that. That was a real man that lived. And Leonardo
Da Vinci.
I was about to say DiCaprio, the actor. Leonardo da Vinci and Michelangelo, Rodrigo Borgia basically sent out the order that they paint his son, which his son's name was Cesare Borgia, all right, to be the face, to be the Messiah.
God bless you.
right on.
I'm a Christian.
Yeah.
Right on.
Christian. No Muslim. Christian.
We got you.
So make sure
Renaissance means
Christian. Remember.
the Roman Empire. Exactly right.
We at the last leg of the Roman Empire right now.
This is when I thought you were talking about the image
Coming out,
in the book of Daniel.
Coming out.
Where it's saying,
Things,
no, the second chapter. Was the second chapter, right? The image is in the second chapter, right?
What?
Or is it the seventh
Yeah,
chapter?
it's in the second chapter.
Second. Because the feet were what? Bronze?
It was iron.
Iron. The
Yeah,
feet
and
were
clay.
iron.
Iron and clay. Iron
Right.
and clay, yeah.
The iron was the ancient Roman Empire, right? The clay is this. The clay could be
Well, it's
broken
still,
up.
no, it's
mixed.
it's still here. The Lord basically brought it back. He
Right.
reincarnated it back. This whole entire system that we know today is based off of the Roman infrastructure, the Roman Empire. That's why you have a Senate. That's why you have basically the whole voting system. We vote for Republican or
Congress.
Democrat. Congress. That all goes back to the Roman Empire. They had senators back then. You had. Today you got the Democrats and the Republicans. Back then they had the patricians and the plebeians. You know, so it's no different. You know, the president, that's the seat. That's the modern day Caesar.
Yep.
You know.
Whereas the Roman Empire is the Roman Republic.
Yeah, pretty
Right,
much.
yeah.
Yeah. You know, America basically rides the beast because the beast is the European Union, and they basically took those ancient Roman powers, so to speak, and they basically applying it to their own infrastructure.
Right.
So that's why you got, you know, the Roman pillars that are all over the place. You go over to Rome,
Caesar's Palace right there.
Caesar's Palace right there. You
that's
see
literally
Roman
Caesar's
columns. Here in America, what we got? We got Colosseums. That goes back to Rome. You know, Floyd about to fight Conor McGregor next weekend at the T-Mobile, right? That's a gladiator ring. You know, and Floyd and McGregor, they're just modern day gladiators. You know,
Bread
they
and
had the
circus,
same
bread
entertainment
and
back
circus.
then.
I got for you something. It's Ecclesiastes 1:9. It says, the thing that hath been is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done, and there is no new thing under the sun.
There's no new thing under the sun.
Especially this white man, he always takes from somebody else because he can't invent his own new thing. So he'll go take what somebody else did and try to reinvent it for himself. Like that's why there's a pyramid down there.
They try to reinvent it for itself and rename it to something else.
Yep. A lot of the
Like a lot of the
false gods-
idols are recycled.
Exactly.
You know, like people worship. What modern day god I could use? Okay, yeah, people celebrate Mother's Day, Easter. They're celebrating Ishtar. That god goes back to ancient Egypt and ancient Babylon.
An idol, rather.
You know, that's like that idol.
That's not a god.
Right.
Go back to Nimrod and Nimrod.
All these things are recycled and put a new twist on it. Hey, you don't even realize when you buy Starbucks, that's Ishtar on that cup. Their image is Ishtar.
Yeah, that lady is Semiramis.
Yep. Hey, the Roman popes that hat they wear, that's a fish head, that's Dagon. That they used to work for that him.
Yeah, the Philistines worship Dagon, the fish god.
Like you know, in how you celebrate, the Catholic Church celebrates Lent, 40 days. That 40 days was they cried for Tammuz.
Yep.
And when go ahead.
No, same with Easter.
Yeah.
They always put a twist on it. What do Easter eggs and Easter bunnies got to do? Bunnies don't lay eggs. But what do they have in common? Fertilization. The beginning of the birth of a year is in the spring. That's the birth of the year when everything's growing. You know, then the summer is the height of it. The fall is the decline, and winter is the death. So people always want to have more. A lot of people would die in the ancient world in the wintertime. They would survive the winter. That's the worst time of the year. But around time of the spring, where Easter is at, that's the rebirth of, or the birth, so to speak, of the year. That's when they were like, well, we have babies. They'll be big enough to live through the winter time by the time it comes around. So that whole fertilization process they wanted to happen and be able to be born around that time.
And the rabbit or the bunny is the symbol because rabbits multiply real quickly.
Right. It's like 3 months or something for a rabbit to be born.
Yeah, it's basically fertility worship. That's all it is.
Like Valentine's Day goes back to wicked customs back in it's somewhere over in Europe, but they do some homo stuff where they get naked and go chase and rape women or something like that. So all the customs here in America that they celebrate is just wicked pagan customs that's recycled into
Halloween.
something else. Like, for instance, Thanksgiving was a slaughter of basically them people down there, Gad and Reuben, where they went and conquered and slaughtered this tribe, and they came back to where they were and they celebrated it with this feast they call Thanksgiving.
Well, let's go a little deeper into Thanksgiving. I'll make it quick, so but basically it's like this. It was a feast, they said, because Gad and Reuben, they had those arrows and they was on target and faster. So they was like, all right, what we're going to have to do, we're going to have to even this out somehow. So matter of fact, y'all too much for us. Let's have a day of peace that we come together, no war. All right, kind-hearted natives, right? All right, what they do, they got everybody fat, and right when everybody was in their fast and fullest and going to sleep, they struck war on them. Right then, that's how they got them. But they all knew that this was going to happen. So it didn't just happen in one place, it happened all over the country to take them out, because there were so many of them, and they were such excellent warriors. Well, that broke them down there. Then they created the Gatling gun, which was faster than the arrows, you know, like the first machine gun. Going further, when it came to Thanksgiving, and even the hunting of the Turks over on the other tribes in Europe, basically what it is the turkey feathers is the Native American with the feathers. The cranberry sauce is the blood that was shed of the Native Americans. And the stuffing is when they would take the pregnant women and cut the baby out of them, kill the baby, and restuff it back in them. That's what happened to our people. The Lord ain't gonna have victory.
And then you got religions that perpetuate it, like the Christian church. They celebrate all the holidays, you know. They celebrate Easter, they celebrate holiday. Thanksgiving, Valentine's Day, all of that, Christmas.
Right.
You know, and then that's not how the Yahweh Shemel Shai, or who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, set it up. You know.
Right. Let me say this about the Turks.
We got to get the scripts.
I got to preach.
I'm gonna hit one quick thing on the Turks. They over in Turkey, our people were scattered out in the Middle East over there. A lot of times in Turkey, so they would go on turkey hunts. They would hunt the Turk, basically our people. These three tribes right here, they would hunt these people that were still over there. Because our women are voluptuous, they would carve the turkey, cutting out a breast, a thigh, all the meaty parts. You know, so on and so forth. That goes into the whole thing of Thanksgiving. Go ahead, bro.
I got a question, bro. I heard you mention, you say what we call Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
What is his name?
Yahweh is who the world ignorantly calls God, and Yahweh Shai is who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. Yah meaning he, Yahweh Shai meaning exist or deliver.
How means to be or exist.
How it means to exist. And then
Yahweh Shai
means to
Yah meaning he, and Yahweh Shai means deliverer or savior.
That's good.
This Amos 5:21. I hate, I despise your feast days, and I will not smell in your solemn assemblies.
Yep.
So
we got all kinds of wickedness going on in our feasts. When our people, Thanksgiving, what's the number one food in Thanksgiving? Turkey, right? We broke the whole turkey thing down to you, how wicked it is, right? What's the next thing that they serve up there? Stuffing, all the same thing. Then it's like ham, things that we ain't supposed to eat.
Let him know why we
But
know
all
it
the holidays
ain't
go around,
Jesus Christ.
centered around all this wicked vibrations of wicked foods and whatever else.
You understand what I'm saying?
Plus, it's giving homage to these gods and not to the Most High God, the Creator. Go ahead, bro. So that was it on that?
It's a little bit more.
Just a little more.
Though ye offer me burnt offerings and your meat offerings, I will not accept them.
Yep.
Neither will I regard the peace offerings of your fat beasts.
Because what our people do, we always pray over the food. I'm not accepting that. I'm not accepting no pork. I'm accepting the commemoration of killing our people. All our holidays are centered around wicked ways that we gather together.
Yep. Death on every one of them.
Yeah, and you're just celebrating an idol that came back from an ancient empire before this.
Yep.
You know, Christmas in Rome they called it Saturnalia.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? They worship the god of Saturn here. You know, like Saturday is based off all the days of the week that you see. Those are back. That goes back to ancient Greek and Roman gods or idols. You know what I'm saying? So hey, the Most High got to come back and He got to take back His dominion on the earth.
That's right.
Everything is polluted, is destructive. You know, His people are out of their minds. So the Lord got to come back and He got to do what He got to do.
Let me add on to the Saturnalia thing, right? What's Saturn known for? The rings, right? It even pollutes the way we get married now. That ring goes back to worship of Saturn. When you give a ring, you didn't need that.
Yeah, that's not in the scriptures.
That's not in the scriptures. You didn't need
Wedding
that.
rings is not in the scriptures, man.
You know?
That whole ceremony is not in the
ceremony's
scriptures.
not right.
That's something they made up.
Yep. The vow was to devote your life to that man and to that woman. But you know,
And marriage,
we don't go deep. But
marriage is just consummation.
Yep.
Once you have sex with a woman, that's your wife.
Yep.
Period. You don't need all this BS that a wedding gown and all that extra shit. That has nothing to do with marriage, man.
Right. That's why
That's a
wedding
pagan
marriage
custom.
ain't consummated until the sex, like to the honeymoon, till that actually happens. Who got something? You still got more?
And that's why it's always been illegal for men to marry men.
Yep. Until
Because you can't consummate a homosexual act.
It's not recognized. That union is not recognized by the Lord because He didn't create a man to be with another man or a woman with another woman.
In this country, that act has always been illegal.
No pictures, please.
Sodomy has always been illegal. It's not till recently that it's been deemed normal.
Yep. That's it, the Bible.
We going into a whole nother topic. We talking about the
Well,
Roman
but
Empire
he has
coming
to,
back,
you
but
know,
that's how the spirit works, though. You know.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if you had another question.
Yeah, you had another question.
I'm sorry, man. I respect what y'all doing, but I got questions too. I want to know if y'all could break down Jeremiah 29:7. Well, knowing everything that we know, it's like I'm on point with y'all. It's talking about seeking peace in the city. So how do you walk with everything that you know to be the truth and seek peace in the city?
What'd you say, Jeremiah? What?
I'm gonna say it like this off top, just kind of here, right? We'll get it. We're gonna break it down by the scripture. But aren't we at peace?
We are at peace.
I'm saying us, me and you.
Yes.
Because, well, everybody standing here is not trying to kill each other in that war. We're peacefully breaking down the words of the Heavenly Father. But we'll go into that. But I'm saying that's a form of it. But we'll go into the actual scripture. 29 says.
Yeah, and this is going into the history of when we was in ancient Babylon. That this was what we were to do.
Oh yeah.
This is talking about the ancient Babylonian Empire here. You gotta understand when it differentiate from future prophecy and when the prophet is actually writing about the current thing that was going on back at that time.
That's partially what hit it, because you couldn't tell when it switched over. The spirit will let you know when it switched over.
Yeah.
Like arrows, you read about arrows, you still thinking ancient times and arrows. And that ain't. But then you said arrows shot across the world. I can't be talking about arrows no more. You know. Go ahead.
Yeah, Jeremiah,
read it.
It's Jeremiah chapter 29, verse 7. And seek the peace of the city, whether I have caused you to be carried away captives. And pray unto the Lord for it.
matter of fact,
Start up.
Just to give understanding. You know.
Start up at 1.
Yeah, and you can read down.
Okay, come. Jeremiah 29 verse 1.
Because basically this was Jeremiah telling our people that were captive there, hey, when you get to the land and you see our people there, hey, be at peace and pray to the Lord. You know, every time we went into captivity, we have to acknowledge our faults, why we even ended up captive under the heathen nations, and we have to pray to the Lord. So this was what we had to do to basically keep ourselves in peace. You know what I'm saying? And this was a letter to the captives of what to do when we went in captive under the Babylonians.
That's why we're not on that list. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
Now, these are the words of the letter that Jeremiah the prophet sent from Jerusalem unto the residue of the elders which were carried away captives, and to the priests and to the prophets and to all the people who Nebuchadnezzar had carried away captive from Jerusalem to Babylon.
Yep, so these were letters that was sent to all the elders, the priests, so on and so forth. Go ahead.
So this is actually a history chapter, sounds like.
Yeah, this is going really into history. It's not like an actual prophecy of what's happening now. Right. You know what I'm saying?
After that, Jeconiah, the king and the queen of the eunuchs, the prince of Judah and eunuchs, and princes of Judah and Jerusalem, and the carpenters and the smiths were departed from Jerusalem by the hand
basically
of
all the prudent men, the highest, the upper level men, basically.
By the hand of Elisah, the son of Shaphan, and Jeremiah, the son of Hilkiah, whom Zedekiah,
this is going into the history of these actual people. Right.
Zedekiah, king of Judah.
But it's hard to find where this history is at. It's there though, but it's hard to find. And these names may not always line up. But those figures do line up with history. Because these other nations wrote down what was going on. Like the I'm not trying to go far off, but like the book of what's that? Not the Dead Sea Scrolls. What's the other one? No, the other one. What's the other one? Nah, the Sumerian account. They were accounting the things that was going on in the earth
during that time.
About what was going on in the time that they were accounting. They're writing it down, what was going on. So basically as a history book, but this is telling you about the history as well as past, present, and future.
Yeah, this is our history,
version,
Israelite history.
From the Creator, not just from another man on the earth writing it down.
Sent unto Babylon to Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, saying, Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the Most High of Israel, unto all that are carried away captives, whom I have caused to be carried away from Jerusalem to Babylon, build ye houses and dwell in them, and plant gardens and eat the fruit of them.
Now let me say this: when the that's just wise to do that. Hey, get yourself comfortable, because you're gonna be there a minute. When the white man came here, he didn't do that. He came and started looking for gold, and they was like, "Hey, y'all gonna be here digging for that gold. Y'all better slow down and start building yourselves up and get healthy and start living off the land." It's basically just telling us, be wise about this. Don't come over here and just get yourself destroyed. So that's what we did in wisdom. That's just a smart thing that you should do when you establish yourself in the new place.
Even though you're kings and priests, but you're not in your own land.
Right.
You got to basically
you're gonna
have to set up in that society, and you're gonna have to, if you want to continue to be a priest, you got to make sure you're good with the locals. You got to be good with the people that were ruling over that place, which at that time was Nebuchadnezzar.
Right.
Go ahead.
Take ye wives and begat sons and daughters.
Keep your lineage going.
And take wives for your sons and give your daughters to husbands, that ye may bear sons and daughters, that ye may be increased there and not diminish. And seek the peace of the city whither I have caused you to be carried away.
Let me say it. That's why in this society there's a lot of homosexuality, because they know our people would always multiply. Wherever we're in captivity, we multiply. So that's why all this homosexual agenda, condoms, what's that? What's the Planned Parenthood?
Planned Parenthood.
There's all these devices to keep our numbers down in this society. Now realizing the Heavenly Father don't want a big number of us in this verse. He wants an elect versus the whole nation. Go ahead, bro.
And seek the peace of the city, whether I have caused you to be carried away captives, and pray unto the Lord for it.
Don't go there trying to fight your way out. Hey, don't act like that chick was saying, mount up with your weapons and fight your way out of it. We are, so we go and fight these militias and this white man, this military. Where we gonna go? We gonna swim now? We gonna get to the ocean and swim off? And they got ships and boats and aircraft carriers? What we gonna do? You know what I mean? That's not, see, you don't know how to think. Bro. That's why I said seek peace, because you're gonna be there and you ain't gonna have no power over them.
For in the peace thereof.
He's basically telling them, when you get over there, be civilized.
Yeah.
Be the princes of the power that y'all know to be. You know, maintain that order that we have in our own land. When you get carried away over there, that's all that meant. You know? Did that answer your question?
Yeah. Okay. Well, we're still reading.
Huh? You ain't got time. Yeah, man. You know. And you got any last questions before we close up? Or
life is about like points. Like let's say like raise your children pretty good. You know what I'm saying? Your whole life. The rest of it, it's good. You know what I'm saying? And I see that as, you know what I'm saying, he's a good man, he raises kids. Or like let's say like he don't raise his kid, he got like 5 kids he didn't raise, but he trying to help. He went like out of state somewhere and never really see him. And I say, do you think that God sees that and say, okay, you don't deserve that, you know, that point? What you did.
The Lord sees everything.
They say kids are sacred.
Right. But you know what? I'm gonna say this though. Whether you raise your kids or not, that doesn't make you good.
Right.
Basically, what separates good from evil is living your life by this word. If you deviate away from what the word say, you automatically not doing good.
There you go.
That's it. You know, if you commit sin, whatever you doing, you're not good. The Lord Himself, when Yahushua was on the scene, He said, "Don't call me good, but call Him that sent me." He even said he wasn't good, and that man was blazed. He didn't even commit sin at all, and he said he's not good. You know? So, I mean, the Lord sees you taking care of your kids. That's cool, but that's something that you're supposed to do anyway. You know? You ain't gonna get brownie points with the Lord because you're doing what you're supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? The Lord, He sees your spirit and what you're doing towards Him. That's what counts. You know?
Which one you want to come out first? 6.
Yeah, that's fine.
Well, let's hurry up.
Matter of fact, go to the other one.
Ecclesiastes.
Yeah, go that first.
This is Ecclesiastes 12
wrap it up.
and 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter.
Let's see the big picture according to the Most High God. Go ahead.
Fear the Most High Yahweh and keep His commandments, for this is the whole duty of man.
That's what makes you a good man. Right? Go to the other one.
This is Matthew 6 and you said 33?
Yeah.
This is Matthew 6 and 33. But seek ye first the kingdom of the Most High and His righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you.
Read that and you're going to read that.
49 and 24.
Yep.
It's Isaiah chapter 49, verse 24. Shall the prey be taken from the mighty, or the lawful captive delivered? But thus saith the Lord, even the captives.
We're the mighty captives. We're worried about getting delivered, right? That's ultimately the way that this is pass or fail. There's no brownie points. It's pass or fail. You either deserve salvation or you don't. That's it. And if you deserve salvation, your kids is of the age, still under the age of being their own person, then they get it with you. That's what this is talking about.
No curve.
Matter of fact, go ahead.
We got it.
No. Go ahead.
And this is gonna go too.
Yeah,
Go.
But thus saith the Lord, even the captives of the mighty shall be taken away, and the prey of the terrible shall be delivered. For I will contend with him that contendeth with thee, and I will save thy children.
And he's going to save your children. Read that one.
Matthew 6 and 33. But seek ye first the kingdom of the Most High.
That's the most important thing. When you're going to the other books, like Matthew and Summers and Luke, you got to put off all those other things and put the Lord before everything. Then that's when your children are happy. I was going to say Hosea 4 and 6, but kind of quoted. He said He will also save your children. Go ahead, bro.
And His righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you. Take
That's good enough.
Okay.
If you seek the kingdom of heaven and its righteousness, all the other things will be added unto you, the money and all of that. But also, like I had him read that first, your children will be saved as well. You'll get yourself salvation, and your kids will also have the opportunity for salvation. And if your kids are old enough, that means you raise them to seek first the kingdom of heaven, and then they'll earn it on their own. That answers your question? Okay.
And we stick around to answer more of your questions, but we gotta.
Oh yeah, no problem. Y'all stand up now.
We here every week, man.
We here every Sunday in this spot, man.
Exactly that.
You know, we see that you work at that Fat Burger down the street, right? Hey, come by, bro. You know,
I swear, I've been watching y'all for years. What's called the
we kind of we teach kind of the same thing, but they off on certain things. You know what I'm saying? We're not really the same group. But that's the ISUPK. We're
it's still the same word, right?
Yeah. We still teach out of the same book. You know, 90 to 95% of what we teach, they teach too. But there's a difference too in the doctrine that we don't agree with that they teach.
So what's the main one?
We'll get into that. If you could come back you come back next week.
Take a glance.
You know, we could deal with that.
They don't teach that.
Yeah.
And that's very important.
Yeah.
That's vital. This is a pass this is a fail for the missiles.
They telling you can actually you could take that. ISUPK believe that you can actually take that because they believe that's not the mark.
This is like this mind control, right? This word like mind control.
It's about control. Period.
It's like a chip, though. It's like a chip.
Yeah.
It's complete control.
We at the last
About
talk.
to go out. Yeah, we're gonna close out. So with that, we're gonna give all praises. Shalom, brother, shalom. We're gonna give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai. Double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone. Greetings and salutations to the hopeful elect. Shalom.